everyone. I see a few Avies I can recognize. Miguel, thank you so much for joining. You are always one of the first. Vegan Succubus, thank you so much for helping out with tonight and doing all of your amazing promotional work. Lucky, same. Let's see who else. And I also want to give a shout out to my co-host for the night, Mr. Andy Kennedy. And first, I am joined by Tones, who's a Emmy-nominated rapper slash actor. And what's that?
No, I said I'm listening.
Okay.
I was ad-libbing. I'm like,
So yeah, thank you so much for joining this.
No
I've been trying
problem.
to get fans and shit for like 2 months, and it's been crazy. And I'm like, wait, this dude's on tour, and he's still got time for this
Always.
shit. So
Always.
that's amazing, and it means a lot. So, you are a rapper. I love your music. I was so
Thank you.
legit, I screamed when Nelly said you were coming on. I was like, thank you to Nelly.
Thank you.
But what, for those who don't listen to your music or haven't heard it, what is it derivative of? What do you draw from to get your lyrics?
I know it's gonna sound like the cliche thing to say, but at least when I say it, I mean it. It's life. Like no matter, it's so many different things that go on in people's lives that you don't really pay attention to. It could be the smallest thing, even if you're in your crib by yourself. There's things that happen throughout your day that is just so normal, and you don't think about it. But as artists, certain artists and real artists tend to pick up on everything. Like, like even this interview now, right? We'll do this interview and I'm going to go back and I'm going to pick up stuff from it. I might do 5 songs about certain things. You know what I mean? So I just draw from life.
Well, just don't say anything making me look bad. That's all I ask.
Oh, come on. What are you doing? Like, no, you're good. You're good.
Good. Who are some of your influences?
Oh, man. We talking about, of course, Michael Jackson, Whitney, Cyndi Lauper, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Slash, Oasis, Tribe Called Quest, Earth, Wind and Fire. Man, like, whew. I mean,
it's definitely
it's
not gender specific.
Yeah. Aerosmith, Janis Joplin. Jim Morrison is one of my favorites.
That's awesome. Did you ever think
I'm
about
all over the place with it.
What's that?
I said I'm all over the place with it, musically, everywhere.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Think about like doing some kind of collaboration with, someone who maybe sounds like Janis.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's people that sound similar, but I have some songs with some people that is reminiscent of her. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Her whole story is like, her music is amazing, but I get into the story behind the artist to figure out where they came from. And when I learned her story, I was like, wow, all her songs meant so much more. Once you learn about the artist, those songs, you could be listening to an artist for like 30 years, and then you watch a documentary, then you listen to those songs, and you go, wow, like they just have a different meaning. You know what I mean? So it's like that with Janis. If you don't know anything about her, you might go, oh man, she's deep. But when you get into her story, you'll feel the music a whole lot more.
And imagine how much more music she would have made if she'd lived past her late 20s.
You know what I mean? Is she part of the 27 or the 28? What is she from? I mean,
the 20. I think it's the 28 crowd where there was
I know
just
Richie
an ungodly
Valens
number of people that died at that same age.
Yeah,
Jimi Hendrix and it was just insane.
I know Richie Valens, the Big Bop, and Buddy Holly. They were on that plane. I don't think they were the same age. Were they the same age? Nah, I think the Big Bopper might have been a little old.
So But yeah, there's definitely been.
Yeah, this
I mean,
was
I
a
can't believe Jimi Hendrix was 27. That's
right? Don't
crazy.
it feel like
And
he was
Janet.
like 70? Yeah, it feels like he was like 70 or something. Right? Like,
I know,
yeah.
like they had lived so much and been through so much, and you know, Janice had that voice that there was so much pain in it and so much soul.
And soul, yeah, definitely.
Well, I actually, you mentioned Tribe. I got to see them with Beastie Boys in Philly about a decade ago, and Q-Tip is one of my crushes. And I was so excited. It was such a good show. Who is one of your?
I was cool with Fife. Me and Fife were real cool. Tip, you know, he was alright, but I mean, Fife was the one I was when I run into him, we would talk. You know, I ran into him
Oh, that's awesome.
tons of times. So when he passed away, it was like, you know, it was crazy. And you know, Tip is cool. You know, I seen him a couple times. But it's cool you like Tribe because I mean, there's nothing better. I mean, what can you like after De La is like after De La Soul is like Tribe is like, come on. As far as those type of artists, MCs is like, wow. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. And you know, I always think about some of my favorite concerts. What are some shows that you were like, okay, this is like you cannot get better than this?
Wow. You talking about in general or just hip hop? I mean, like in general.
Yep.
That I seen in person or that I just seen on TV? I'm sorry, I'm trying to get, you know, I have to make sure I say the right
that
answer.
you went to that you were like goosebumps.
Oh, okay. Well, it's probably not going to be it's probably going to be a hip hop show then if it's that. Oh man, it would probably be between probably LL and Run DMC. It's a toss up. As far as live shows that made me go, what's better than this? Like, you know what I mean? But this is just hip hop because I've never been to
I saw Run DMC.
Concert, you know?
Yeah, I saw Run DMC with Aerosmith.
Right.
That was bananas.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their, you know what I mean? But as far as what made me go, what's better than this? From live that I see in person and not on TV, I would have to be, it's a toss-up between LL and Run. I would probably go a little bit more towards L because he was solo. You know, he had a E Love, which was his hype man who wasn't hype, but he would just stand there with the radio. But L just killed it by himself. Run, they had like a routine with him and D and J, who Jam Master Jay I knew pretty well. But if we talk about that, then yeah, that's the ones I've been to physically. But as far as if what I've seen on TV and documentaries is going to be different than that. If I have to step into that,
right. Andy, did you have anything you want to ask?
Well, I just wanted to just make a quick comment that, I mean, I think that a lot of people in our society will categorize musical styles and genres and say that they completely hate a specific genre of music, which is insane to me because we have we only make music one way. We just a lot of times we just use different instruments, right? I mean, I'm almost 60 years old, so like I was going to concerts back in the mid 70s, and right at the time when the Police were huge, and there were 3 concerts in Canada called the Police Picnic. I was at there as a 15-year-old. But that being said, some of my favorite concerts that I've ever gone to, right up there, probably one of my favorite of all time was seeing Pitbull live in concert. You know,
Pitbull
I just
puts it down, man. Yeah.
Oh, he's such an entertainer. Just amazing show. One of my favorite songs of all time is Fireball. I just love that song. Every time I go somewhere south, I always take that and make that my soundtrack. But I love to hear, especially young artists that are making their way into the industry and making a name for themselves, talk about their roots and being honest about it, not just being genre specific. So that's amazing to hear that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tell us about your tour. You're touring with a musician named Haystack. How's that going?
Oh, it's cool, man. We just played Florida. Right now, I'm in Tennessee. I got some stuff to do out here, just outside of touring. With this interview is one of the things, and we head back out. I think the 16th of this month, and we head over to North Carolina, Alabama, Kentucky, and West Virginia. Like we got a couple spots that we hitting up.
Nice. Now,
Mhm.
every time I hear Tennessee, I think of Arrested Development, like
Development, yeah, yeah,
everything
yeah.
for crime.
I figured you would. Oh, yeah. Actually, chatted with Speech, the guy Speech. I never met him back then, but we chopped it up online a couple of times, man. But I think he's solo. I think he's doing his own thing.
Oh, okay. They were, oh my
Yeah,
God, they're one of the greatest
yeah,
from back
yeah,
then.
yeah, yeah. And we love them definitely.
For sure. So you
Hmm.
were kind enough to join us tonight to do this Musicians for Mutual Aid. I've noticed that as independent media, people just never share these mutual aid tweets I put out, and I get probably at least 3 requests every day in my DMs, and you're the only one who shares them and stuff, and it's just
Yeah,
not okay. So I figure I'm going to do this to try and call some attention to this. So I get, a lot of these people are ready to be unhoused. They are unhoused. They're hungry. They
hmm,
need help for their
hmm.
children. What
Well,
what made you say yes to this?
well, aside from Noli being involved, and shout out to Noli, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, as far as the way I look at it is like this. Um, because I do music, I figure, okay, I do shows, I'll make money, I'll sell records, whatever, streams, whatever, movies or whatever, but there's so much more that could be done with that. So anything that has to do with helping, I don't like to say bring awareness because I think everything that's bad in this world people are aware of, but I would say remind people of any kind of situation, whether it's hunger, whether it's helping artists, whatever it is, that's on a positive vibe, that's not so industry, I'm down with. I'm the dude that I would rather go on a tour, right, of the United States, and I mean perform for free, maybe two or three songs, but it will be to bring not just awareness, but just more attention. Because awareness is just, hey, I know what that is, but but attention is like, you're paying attention. Like what you're doing right now, listening to me, you paying attention. Awareness would be, I got a notification that you got something going on tonight. So to me, it would be like, to answer your question a little bit more deeper, would be like, I love doing stuff like this. I'd rather bring more attention to everything other than, hey, I'm making music and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I would rather do a tour of the United States for free. My booking agent, I'm staying with her and her husband. I don't want her to hear this part, even though she hates when I say this. She loves me, I love her, but she hates when I say this. But I'd rather tour the United States and just do performances, not long ones, maybe 2 or 3 songs, and for free, and just to talk and listen about a million different topics. And I would just say take care of my travel and lodging, of course. But other than that, I don't charge for things. So when I looked into what you're doing, I'm like, of course. Why
That's
wouldn't I be there? Like, why wouldn't I be here? I can understand why other artists might probably they would have charged you. Yo, give me $500 and I'll be on your
that
platform. Like,
wouldn't happen.
better
Because
not have happened. It better not. Let me know who asked. I'll
Yeah,
smack them in their face. Like, we
I
crazy?
promise I'll pay you 3 times what I paid the last guy.
Nothing. Zero,
like
zero, zero.
I'm a
Yeah,
broke
okay.
disabled chick. Like so it's
Mhm.
like, I
Yeah,
mean, this is to me what matters. Like anyone who's willing to give their time, even if it's 10 minutes, just to
right.
help out people, because, and I'm sure as an artist, music is the one force that it has so much solidarity in it. When you
Yep.
go to a concert and you hear everyone singing in unison, I just got
Yeah.
goosebumps. Like, it is so powerful. And what do you think an event like this surrounding music can do to empower people who need that mutual aid?
It's limitless. I mean, it depends on the artist. I mean, whatever the artist is willing to give is what's going to be accepted. So you got artists that'll give turkeys. They give some computers. I mean, come on. There's so much more they could be doing. And it's not about just giving money. It could be just attention. Because I tell you what, from what I personally learned from depression and mental illness is that just a phone call can make the difference. You can give somebody $4 million, but they'll be depressed with $4 million. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it'll probably wind up being 1 million, but they'll still be depressed. So my point is that there's so much more that people can do, but it's not expensive. It's just your time. Time is money. Time is like money. What do you do with time? You spend it. What do you do with money? You spend it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same thing. What happens when somebody says, "Yo, man, I'm losing money." Okay, well, I'm losing time. It's connected to time and money. That's why they say time is money, money is time.
Absolutely.
But I just think that people should. It's not a hard thing. It's not rocket science. It's like you have, like my notoriety is not huge, but for my small fan base, like they know what I'm about. So that me, conversing with y'all is a thing. So it's time. I think that artists, if they dedicate their time to things, you'd be surprised. You know what I mean? They got kids in the palm of their hand. What are they doing? They're flashing bricks of money.
Yeah.
They're talking about street code that doesn't exist. They're talking about gang this and gang that and all of this stuff. It's like, yo, it's not just about being preachy or the Martin Luther King thing. It's just like, yo, there's so much more to this than just that. But they don't know. And if they do know, they suppress it because they think they're going to lose fans if they talk about it. Me, I don't care. Hate it or love it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's me. And I think that, I think more artists should do that, in my opinion.
Oh, yes, absolutely. What you mentioned depression, and we have the highest depression, anxiety, self-harm ever in United States history the past 3 years. Yeah, for real. What gives you hope?
Waking up. I feel like if God bless me with the gift of just waking up, that's hope. Because if I'm waking up, then other people are waking up. It's what you do after you wake up. I could wake up and go, hey man, 12 hours and go back to sleep and do nothing. But the fact that I wake up and I can, even if it's just talking to one person, even if it's a post, even if it's a tweet, whatever it is, you toss some kind of good energy out there and some good karma, and you'd be surprised what you can do. Like there's people that hit me up and tell me, oh man, Tones, you helped me out so much. Like songs I do can help them, which I don't want that because I'm not a misery love company type of guy. So when I make a song about child abuse I've been through or whatever, I don't want somebody to say, hey man, me too. I don't want that, even though it does exist. But you'd be surprised, like people hit me up and will just say, man, you helped me out so much over the years. And I go, what did I do? I didn't give you money. They would just go, yo, man, you answered my call. You responded when I messaged you. You randomly hit me up and said, yo, man, I'm checking up on you. How you doing? You'd be surprised what that can do to people, man. Like just reaching out to them, especially if you claim to love somebody. If you say, oh man, I love you, but I'm more of a words mean more than actions type of person. But at the same time, well, if you're saying that, then you got to feel it. So for anybody that's listening right now, don't just tell somebody you love them. Reach out. Even if you say, hey, what's up? Text, message. There's a million ways to communicate now. So if you say, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? You'd be surprised what that what's up, how you doing would have done and do to that person. They might have been on the brink of doing something crazy. But then you hit them up and said, yo, what's up, man? You all right? Oh, what's up, baby? You good? And they might go, you know what? They care about me. So those are the things that you can do. It's not a quick fix, but it's those little things that you think don't matter that matter.
Absolutely. I've been
I'm
doing
sorry for being so long-winded, but I just,
no, absolutely. I started something on Twitter 2 years ago where I just pick a random person every single day and I DM them something kind. I
Yeah.
like your post. You have beautiful eyes, blah blah blah, whatever. And most of most of the time they're like, "Oh my god, that's so kind. Thank you so
hmm
much." And it just
hmm
that made my day. Like it takes 2 seconds, and I'm genuine with what I'm saying. You know, I'm not pulling it out of my ass, but
Exactly.
just that little thing, like, yeah,
hmm
you're right for sure.
You'd be
Um,
surprised.
absolutely. What is a lasting message you want to leave with those who are viewing this right now?
Um. All right. Probably, I would say some of this is gonna sound cliche, but it's probably gonna be all of it. But this is just what I go by. I always say what you mean and mean what you say. Stand on your word. Stand on your beliefs. If you say something to somebody, whether it's business wise, romantic wise, whatever it is, you make sure you mean that, because any kind of alteration of that is going to hurt the person. I could sit here and say be positive all the time, but that's impossible. But I will say, whatever emotions you feeling, you put those emotions verbally to the person that you're feeling about, not too aggressively and not too whatever, but just make sure you speak your mind. I stand on that. Communication is the most important thing in the world. You and I, and my man right there, we're communicating. These people that are watching or whatever, they may not be, I don't know if they're in the chat or whatever, but we're still communicating because they're hearing me and they're hearing you. So I would toss all of those things out there and say, listen, the best thing you can do is just always, I do what I feel, never what I think. It's not that I go through things blindly, but I always go from it, because this way, when you do what you feel, whether it's good or bad, it's coming from the heart. Because when you start thinking about something too much, it becomes more than what you feel, and you start weighing the pros and the cons. Before you know it, you wrote a speech. You know what I'm saying? And you may have said it, and then the next day said, "Man, I should have said this," and you're thinking about it too much. I know this is a lot, but I'm just saying
No, it
that's what
makes
I would leave
perfect
people.
sense.
I will leave this with people. Communication is important. Say what you mean what you say. Never switch up. Stand on your word. And basically, I'm not going to sit here and say love everyone, because no one's going to do that. Because that means you'll have to love Hitler. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. So I know you don't. I know people don't want to do that. Yeah, that's what I would just say, man. I don't want to be just Captain Positive, but I mean, it's just you can do it. It's not impossible. You know what I mean? To just toss out that positive energy as much as you possibly can. And that's what I would leave with people. That's what I would let, people watching, that's what I would say to y'all. Well, that's what I am saying to y'all.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Please
Yeah.
tell everyone where they can find you, your Twitter, your website, all of those things.
No. Don't look for me.
I can tell them then.
Now on Twitter, it's simple. It's Tones Twit. TONEZ TWIT. Tones Twit. Simple. YouTube, I'm sure you might put my link there, but it's Tones World TV, TONEZ TV. Facebook, just look up Tones, T.O.N.EZ, my name right there. Or Google me, and you'll find all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? But when you do hit me up, if whoever's watching now, when you hit me up, let me know that you came from here, and give her some love, so I'll know that you came from this interview.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tones. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. This means a lot.
Yes, you can. I got time.
What's that?
Tell me.
He says,
I got time.
He's got time. You can tell him how much you appreciate
I'm joking. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, I was gonna say, we have other musicians, thankfully, but
no, it's all good. I'm just messing with y'all.
Well, thank you so much. Seriously,
thank you.
Thank you. Much
thank
love
you so
to
much.
you.
Much love to you. Let's shout out Noli, please. Could we give love to Noli, please? Because she's
yes. Thank you, Noli.
She's like
you.
She's the best.
Definitely.
She's the best thing in the world, man. And yo, my man, yo, I ain't forget you, man. You know, link me to your channel. I want to subscribe to his channel too.
All right. Thank you so
All right.
much, Tones. Appreciate
All right. Peace
it.
and love to everybody, man. Peace and love, y'all.
You
Be good. Take care,
too.
man.
Bye
All
bye.
right. Peace. Peace.
All right. Wow, he's awesome, right, Andy?
Oh, what a great mental attitude about trying to spread hope and
Yeah.
you don't get to
seriously.
hear that, especially someone that starts to attain a little bit of notoriety in the field they're in. It's nice to hear. The one thing I do love about the concert, when you go see somebody live in concert, it's one of the few times that you actually, where there's still a large number of people that get together, and it's a great place to spread hope and love and that kind of thing over a large group of people, and we could really use a lot of that right now.
You are not kidding. Well, and you guys never see this because of how my screen is set up, but my chest says music is life. And it is. It's something that has gotten me through the darkest of days. And it's also something that gives me beautiful memories as well. Andy, we talked a lot about helping people and giving back. And that was my intention for coming up with this idea, because it's really hard to get people to share mutual aid links, especially people with big accounts. A lot of indie media who's like mutual aid, go through their Twitter. You're not going to be able to find a single post about it. So I thought, well, what's a good way? Maybe I'll do a fucking comedians for mutual aid. Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to keep doing stuff like this because unfortunately, psychologically, it seems like people want to give more when there's something in it for them. And I don't mean it that how that came out, but I just like some people need to be enticed. And getting some entertainment with some wonderful people, and then being like, yeah, you know what? I'll chip in $5. It's more of like you're kind of donating for the show they just gave you, in a way.
Sure. Well, absolutely, like that. I think that's been the same for forever, right? Like, I mean, the whole idea of paying for entertainment, right? Like, I mean, if a lot of people I think they feel awkward when they have to ask for money, and there's a lot of people that need money right now because of medical debt or trying to come up with rent or just to put gas in your car or whatever, right? It's tough, and you don't want to feel like you're a burden to your friends and family all the time if you're constantly asking them for money. So it's not something a lot of people like to put out there because they're proud of who they are, and a lot of times when you need help, it's almost like you feel like you're not doing the right thing or whatever, right? So whenever we have an opportunity like this to raise money for people that need it, so they don't have to ask for it for themselves, right? And the money can go to people to help, because there's a lot of, especially in the U.S. right now, there's an absolute need by a lot of people just to survive, just to put food on the table. And clearly, over the last few decades, the government has abandoned the working class and anybody from that level down, and it turns out we're just going to have to do it on our own, right? And we have to. It's tough because there's a lot less people with the extra money to give, but
right. But I think something people really need to remember about mutual aid is It's not often I can give. I certainly can't give to every single person who hits me up because, like I said, I get probably at least 3 a day. But my shares still do something because my shares may get a few shares and then their shares may get, and there's gonna be at least 1 or 2 donations along that path. So even if you cannot donate yourself, it is so important to at least share with the hashtag mutual aid request or mutual aid. Also, do not put the word boost or boosting. Twitter automatically flags it and shadow bans it. I don't know why. They hate Poe folks, I'm sure, but like they will flag it. So never say boost. Just put like please share. It's weird things I've learned. And when you see some people share it, they'll put like BXXSTING. Like it's so weird, these like trigger words for Twitter. I do want to also, in case anybody is just joining, we do have other performances coming up. Anyone who is just joining, I want to give a special shout out to Vegan Succubus, who is putting links to mutual aids to it within the comments. They are tweet links because we collected on Twitter. We said put your mutual aid links in the comments. There's a lot of people who need help. So Vegan Succubus is going through and just dropping links every few minutes to give you guys an idea. They all say what the money is going towards. The most common ones I get are people who are about to be unhoused and medical. I mean, and you know, I don't have to tell anyone here, I'm sure that, you know, medical debt is one of my passions, unfortunately. And, you know, some of the stories I hear in these DMs they're hard. But at the same time, if they are hard, it's our responsibility to give these people a voice, because a lot of the time they have very small accounts, very few followers, and they create their accounts just because they desperately need help. So that's where our voices come in. That's our responsibility. If we say we care about people and we want to help and change things, that is then on us. Let's start sharing these things. Let's start promoting, helping people in need. You know, I also want to, you know, say that, you know, we're getting close to like, you know, campaign time and all that shit. Just, you know, what I'm going to say
always
is,
campaign time.
yeah, pretty much, like always. I definitely want to encourage people to give to mutual aid, not politicians. Even if there's someone you're excited is running or you believe in or whatever. And no, candidates are not technically a monolith, but I just want to remind people how it feels to give even $5 to someone and have them disappoint you. When you give mutual aid, you are giving 100% to an actual person who is in need. You are not giving it to a campaign that is going to fail or a campaign that is going to turn on everything they said they would do. There is no guarantee with where that $5 goes when you give it to something like that. But there is, you know, you can bet when you give that $5 to a mutual aid, you will be directly helping someone who is hurting. Andy, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I just wanted to make a quick announcement. Noli finally arrived a little bit late. And the reason why she was late, she put damn time zones?
Oh, no way. Well, hit up Pugface and damn it. Yeah, I'm stalling because I'm waiting for Pugface here. Yeah, we do have a number more performances coming up, but unfortunately one is a little on the late side.
And we'll
but
just
yeah,
go with the flow.
Yes. It's not like you guys have never heard me talk. So what's your thought on that? Kind of being more choosy. Also, there are a whole lot of people who consider themselves indie media. Yeah, I'm gonna throw out names. Brianna Joy Gray makes over $30,000 per month. Per month. $30,000 per month just on Patreon. That does not include the Hill. That does not include super chats. That does not include tips. Just patrons. 30,000 a month. What happens if maybe you cancel that $10 a month that you're giving to someone who already has tons of money for doing their produced once a week show? What happens if you say, you know what, I'm going to take this $10 and give it to someone who actually needs it? Think about where your money is going and think about how it can directly help people instead of giving it to people who simply don't need it. Anyway, Andy, what are your thoughts on reallocating, money to perhaps you were going to give some to a politician or people in indie news, so-called, and then you thought, you know what, I'm going to give it to someone who actually needs it.
Well, I think that's the problem, and a lot of it. I mean, we can go back and look at what the different decades in the 20th century taught a lot of people was that it's okay to be greedy and it's okay to look out for yourself and look out for number one. I don't necessarily begrudge people that are doing that well. But if you're going to be a quote unquote champion of the left, there's certainly a reason why you could certainly help out. I mean, again, it's I don't want to preach to anybody and tell people what they do with their own money or whatever, but it's a little disingenuous to try to be a champion of people that are barely surviving while you go back to your, New York City apartment that, is paid for monthly and comfortable and all that stuff. So it certainly is something to think about, especially as things seem to be just getting worse, right? We spent a lot of the last 3 years locked in our homes because of, without getting into that argument, but a lot of people came out of that with a lot of different perspectives and certainly a lot less money than they had before, and a lot of people lost their jobs and a lot of people were dehoused. Things are only seem to be getting worse now, and clearly the quote unquote most progressive president since FDR didn't seem to come through. So they're pretty much guaranteed the government's not going to help you out. So I think that once people start to open their eyes and look around, that it is going to be just up to us to take care of our own. And if you are a true champion of this side of the political sphere and you believe the things you're saying, you need to step up and do the thing like Tones was saying, right? Like, get conversations started, make somebody's day by simply reaching out and asking how you're doing. The way you DM somebody on Twitter every day and say, how are you? I love, your new look, or that tweet was amazing or something, right? It's how we support one another. It's really the only way we're going to survive. That is,
Honestly.
if the climate doesn't blow up.
Ugh.
Boy, aren't
And speaking
just
of
a
which,
bastion
if you
of
guys
hope.
haven't seen, on Tuesday I did an action here in Harrisburg where we all wore hazmat suits and stood outside a restaurant that was having a fundraiser for a politician who physically assaulted a fellow organizer I was with. And he's our state senator, Mike Regan. And so we protested the fundraiser. It was filled with representatives and lobbyists, but it was only filled with them after we almost got arrested from blocking the door for 40 minutes. So for 40 minutes, we had our hazmat suits and we put our arms like this and we blocked the door. And we said, you're not going in there to meet with lobbyists and reps who are destroying our planet and destroying people's health. And these were people who were directly like giving money to the Mariner East pipeline and things like that. So for 40 minutes, we were like, and it was beautiful because there were some straight up like Karens or whatever you want to say. And one of them was a rep, and the police were pulled up in their car for probably at least 20 minutes before they even got out to talk to us. And they were having tantrums because they were like, we called them and they're not even leaving their car. And it's like, look, you paid $1,000 per plate, okay, to get in here. But there's a few more important things than that. Okay, so $1,000 per plate to get into some stupid bougie ass thing where you're killing our planet. Also, it was during a work day. They were getting paid to do this. They're receiving to
That's
get.
so cool.
What's that?
That's great. Isn't that great?
Yeah. So you're in session 8 to 5. It is 8:30 in the morning. It is a Tuesday. It is a work day. It is work time. And you are having a fundraiser. That's the first thing. Second thing is this was in Harrisburg. Second thing is there were 8 fundraisers that same day in Harrisburg. 8. All lobbyists and politicians. All of them. 8 of them on a fucking work day. So, yeah, we were not happy, and we held our own, and it felt so damn good.
Nice.
And we will be doing more. But yeah, in any case, I kind of digress just because I'm waiting for the next performer. But yeah, I mean, it's good to represent, and relative to this, there are several people who I've met with and protested with in outside of a town you may have heard of called Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Yes, where all the Amish are. There is a town called Conestoga, and pipelines are being built all over indigenous people's lands. And they are, when you drive around Conestoga, like it literally looks like a water park. I'm not even kidding you. You see these huge orange things that look like tube slides. And they started building them on people's properties. They put them underneath schools. everything like that. And I've spoken with numerous people who have had to quit their jobs because their health has become so horrible from these pipelines. So, that goes to mutual aid as well, because they do have GoFundMes because they can no longer work. They have oxygen tanks, they have brown water, and shit like this. So mutual aid is literally relative to every single thing ever, like ever. And also, I want to encourage any other organizers, activists, anything like that. If you are doing an event, especially one that raises $100,000, please have everyone bring a can of food, everyone bring a coat, everyone bring gloves or a hat. Then, maybe we can start helping people directly by doing things like that, because you have a platform, you are expecting thousands of people. Here's an opportunity to actually say, hey, I suggest everyone that comes, can you bring some fruit, some water, a coat, a scarf? That could have helped so many poor or unhoused people. And it was a missed opportunity. So I definitely encourage anyone who organizes or knows an organizer, please have them use that opportunity to help others, because that exemplifies just how passionate you are about helping those you say you're fighting for.
So I have here a guest for you, Joy, but she's not very musical.
I'm sorry?
I have a guest here, but she's not very musical. It's kind of probably hard for you to see, but this is my puppy. This is Baby.
Okay, you can bring them in.
No, here. This is my Poochie.
What's that?
My Poochie in my picture here. She's sitting on my lap.
Oh,
This is Baby.
hi, baby.
Oh, she's full of kisses. She's full of kisses.
Oh, hi, cutie pie. Oh, well, my audience loves dogs, that's for sure, and animals as a whole. It looks like somebody joined, but I can't see who it is. And now they're not on screen.
Stever? It says device is not connected. So.
Well, Stever's not due for like an hour.
Yeah, I know, but Stever probably saw that we didn't have anybody, so he probably showed up early.
What time is it? Yeah, I have someone in 5 minutes. So Stever,
he might just have gone on to make sure the link works. So.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So you've got you've got Helen coming on.
Helen, yeah.
Okay.
Helen is a musician. I met her in Los Angeles. We've been friends on Twitter for a while. She's very talented as far as like making videos and such as well. And she's just good people. She's a lot of fun and just a good person. And that's something I'm going to say about everyone who's showing tonight. It was really difficult to get anyone tonight. Honestly, I asked people for 2 months. And how many bands are on Facebook and Twitter? Like a bajillion. And some said they would and then ghosted me. Some said they would and then gave bullshit excuses. So, it's hard doing something like this. And, the left always says, this is why the left doesn't get stuff done. Well, actually, the reason why the left doesn't get stuff done is because, for example, Tuesday, me, Vegan, Lucky, and Stever decided to do a hashtag save snap trend on Twitter to get it to trend. I'm going to be generous and say a half a dozen people joined in.
Yeah.
I'm going to be generous. And I have 25,000 followers.
Yeah.
And I wasn't the only one promoting it. When I looked, I saw over 3,000 people saw the post. Yesterday, 30 million people, I repeat, 30 million fucking people were kicked off of Snap. And now people want to act outrage. I've been posting about it for months. And it gets like no shares. And this is the problem, because you say shit that's not sexy and nobody cares.
Yeah.
Now you say something that has something to do with drama. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, look at this, look at this, look at this. What about the actual issues? It's no shiny objects. Can we just focus on the issues? Tonight's issue is people who are suffering and dealing with shit that is making their life a lot harder than it should be.
Absolutely.
Hey, Stever, can you leave the thingy? Because I want to make sure I see the other person when they come in. Thank you.
Thank you, Stever.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Organizing stuff like this can be very defeatist, honestly, because I reach out to people and they see my messages and they don't care, or they may not like another person who is going to be on. It's so trivial. It's so stupid. And like, one of the performers tonight sent a video because he couldn't be here tonight, but he still wanted to participate. And that is someone I appreciate so much, because it's okay. Not everyone's available. That's fine. But the fact that he said, you know what? I said I'm going to do this. I'm still going to do it. I'm sending you a video. I love it. I fucking love it. And that is Dave Rofix. A lot of you may know him. He's a performer. He has a podcast. He fights for net neutrality. And yeah, he was passionate about this and said, I'll play some tunes for you and send you the video. So I was very happy with that. It's a good feeling to know that someone, when some people are like, they just ask if they can join too. I always like that. What are these saying?
Aggravated progressive said, I'm an a-hole.
I don't think so.
Well, let's discuss.
Let's discuss. Come on, Helen. Let me text her. We're not having prompt people tonight. A-G. Okay. So the other thing is, I do want to do something like this again. I think these things are important to draw attention to it. But I also think people, and I'm probably preaching to the choir, and I've said this a million times, but people have a responsibility to hold other indie media accountable, just like they hold politicians accountable. And I never see that, ever. So when you see people saying they support mutual aid and they never share posts and they never do anything about it, call them out. People only do what you let them do. So if they're pushing this shit and everyone's giving them super chats like there's some kind of heroes, don't do that shit. Call them out and say, what are you doing for mutual aid if you say you're passionate about it? Because I don't see you interviewing people about it. I don't see you platforming people. I don't see you sharing posts. Like, don't just talk about it, be about it. That's where we come in. We have to hold these people accountable, just like politicians. Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? It's been a minute since LA.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys.
You
Just
too.
living the
So
dream,
tell us a little bit. I'm sorry.
So just living the dream, you know.
Oh yeah. Tell everyone a little bit about yourself, for those who don't know.
Okay, hey everybody, I'm Helen Caddis. I am a singer, a songwriter. I got a woman out of prison in 2018 named Kirsten Blaze Lobato, who was wrongfully convicted for 16 years. So I'm very dedicated to criminal justice issues. I'm a songwriter. I am not shy about it at all, which is great. And I'm very, very dedicated to social justice. Kind of feel like it's possibly my part of my job to save the world. I was also Marianne Williamson's digital director for her 2020 presidential. So happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Joy.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining. This is such an important cause. And you know, for anyone who's seen my my stand-up comedy from Los Angeles, it was Helen who snuck that video. So yeah.
Go us.
Oh, if it wasn't for Helen, we would never have seen the extent of your comedy. Wow.
I know, because it was only one show and it was a bucket list and I haven't done it since.
Wow.
But I got really great feedback, and throughout the entire set you can hear Jimmy Dore like laughing hysterically. And since he's a professional comic, I am going to take that as a compliment.
Absolutely. But if it wasn't for Helen, you could have said, "Oh yeah, I was a stand-up comedian," and we could have said, "Prove it," and you wouldn't have been able to.
This is true. This is absolutely true. So thank you, Helen. You have given me receipts.
Helen is tuning. We'll give her a second to tune.
Yes. So what makes you, passionate about mutual aid? Anything in particular, any certain causes?
Oh, for me, absolutely. I guess I'm very passionate about disability justice, especially because I'm a woman who's disabled as well. And the government just does not have a safety net for us. My mother was also disabled. And, there was a safety net for her back then, and there's not anymore, for people like, who have real disabilities that affect us, day to day, trying to do, normal jobs. Like I have severe chronic PTSD, it affects everything I do, and so I'm very passionate about mutual aid for people who are disabled because we all really need to support each other. The government is not currently doing that.
Absolutely. National Medicare for all.
Yes, that's what we need. That is what we need. And we don't have it. And that's the thing. It's just, we don't have it. It's a nightmare, and so for me, I'm passionate about those issues. I'm passionate about medical expenses. I'm passionate about people who have children and need to take care of their families. It's just, I mean, I think it's disgusting that we don't have safety nets and that people are just doing the best they can to survive, you know? It's very sad.
And you're in Los Angeles area where poverty is just bad. And you know, you look around and you see politicians don't give a shit. I've seen the most disgusting tweets from, you know, politicians and people in California just saying like, I don't want to see these people, you know, and stuff. And I mean, in San Francisco, Queen Pelosi, like literally at the same time, she was showing her $10,000 refrigerators with her designer ice cream. There were 12-hour food bank lines the same day. So, I mean, we see these people, and you know, do you in your area, do you see, you know, any kind of mutual aid going on?
I know that there is some mutual aid going on. I get messages about mutual aid, and I always try to repost when I can. But I know that the community here is very supportive of each other, and I think that's beautiful. I haven't personally thought it out for a friend, but I mean, I think that these networks, you know, are sustaining people in times of crisis where there's just nobody. You know, not everybody has a big family anymore or whatever. You know, not everybody has a support system, and that's the thing. It's like, what are you supposed to do when you have nothing, when you have nobody, and when you can't feed your kids, you know, or you just lost, I saw the pandemic benefits, you know, the food stamp benefits were just cut. I mean,
30 million people.
30 million people, and they think that that's okay to just kick people off their food stamps, to just give them, like, I mean, what is somebody with 3 or 4 kids supposed to do to feed their family? They don't have any food stamps. They don't have, I mean, people are desperate. And that's the thing that I've been frustrated about the Biden administration. That whole promise of $2,000, all you have to do is support Warnock and Ossoff in Georgia, and we'll just cut you a check right away. Everybody, just, you know, we'll just cut you a check.
6 months later, and here's a bit of that.
We got your vote.
We got your vote. You don't need a check. And then the whole thing where all the, you know, all the liberals were posting 1,600 plus 400 is $2,000, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Well, you know what? Here's a real fucking kicker for you. Trump gave us more than Biden.
And it's messed up, but that's the thing that people remember, and that's the thing that they don't really get. It's like, boy, what are we gonna do? I mean, because people have that good little memory of Trump. It's really scary, actually. That little memory of, oh, well, Trump gave me money and Biden just said, hey, you know, came up empty. But he has plenty of money for the war in Ukraine, and he has plenty of money for every other country, and to buy, you know, gigantic jets and B-52 Raiders. He has money for all that, just no money for us.
Yeah.
So what are our taxes going for? Like, what's the point?
It's so bananas. And I mean, it's not even our taxes. It's an infinite supply of the paper they print off. It's so fucked up. And we need, you know, being aware of this shit is what drives me mad. Like, sometimes I wish I didn't even know this shit.
How are you supposed to go through your day to day and just like do your job and do your stuff and like know this stuff and like not be able to do anything about it, you know?
I know.
It's so
I know.
bananas.
It's like empathy is a bitch. It really is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, I live in Canada, Helen, and if it wasn't for our healthcare system, you know, half of us would freeze to death because it's so freaking cold up here. But why can my country afford it and yours can't?
Exactly. And that's the question that I think everybody has. I mean, it's not like it's rocket science. And that's the thing that has just been bugging me about the Biden administration. Like, they just keep talking about, oh, everything's fine and we've done such a great job and unemployment's down. And it's like, okay, but like people still don't have a safety net,
Yeah.
you know?
And I
People
do
still
want to
don't.
give a shout out to Applejack. I just saw you in the chat, my love. Applejack has done some insanely great work for mutual aid, and recently, like a week or two ago, he did more. And they even wore banana hammocks to jump in the freezing cold water. So, I mean, shout out to you, Applejack. You know, I love you
Okay.
to pieces. And
There's a vision that I won't be able to get out of my head for a while. Thank you.
it's on his Twitter if you want to see. I mean, it's
I'm good,
hot. There's
thanks.
nothing wrong with some
I'm
banana
good.
hammock.
No, it's all right.
I mean, do you? If it helps mutual aid, I'll go out in a damn banana hammock.
Well, that I'd
freaking
pay to
know.
see.
I said I would do a freaking OnlyFans for Medicare for All if it helped us get it. I don't give a shit.
Helping people every way that you can, and that's what we appreciate about you, Joy.
All I had to do was threaten it, and people paid me to keep my clothes on.
Oh, you care about National Medicare for All, but would you do an OnlyFans for it? I would. I'd have to explain.
No,
it to
I
my
would
husband,
not. I would not. But you know, each their own, right?
Exactly. Well, we will let you play your set again. Thank you so much, Helen, and take it away.
All right, thanks, guys. Hi, everybody. I'm Helen Caddis, and I write songs, and this is one of them. All right. You don't have to say it. You don't have to say a word. you guys enjoyed that one. That was called Rise. And I want to do this crazy cover by Widow Speak called Gun Shy because I just really dig it. And let's see how it goes. All right. Okay, 1 second. I was on your mind, lonely on the road at night. You are still the wild one, but what is it you're running from? A scared light is staring down the barrel of a gun. No pistol gets you, no rifle cuts you fast enough. Some try to love you, but it's never long before you shake 'em off. Lightly, I was on your mind, lonely on the road at night. Lights so low, in your eyes. Don't get running. You were too shy. All right, that was a fun one, but it's Widow Speak, the band Widow Speak with Gun Shy, but that was me, Helen Caddis, playing it. Okay, here is another song I like called Riesling. Riesling, sweet and subtle, sparkling. Savor what you bring to me. Sunny, wrapped in dreams. Finally, sitting in a vineyard field, struck by the soft wind hill, and guys. Let's see. I've got. Oh, I really like this song. It's such a weird song, and I hope that you really enjoy it. It's called Absolution. Oh, I think I'll play this song. I just really dig this song. Let's see. Hope you guys are donating. Let's donate to mutual aid. Let's help Brandy with some emergency housing. Everybody take a look at the links that are being dropped as I'm playing, and please support as much as you can. This is really going to help people. Replete with stars, air energy charged, we made our way to the eye, pushing our hopes out through the dark. Reactive sparks, history churning towards the mark. Epic roots of invention, leaving intention to be wrought. Such choking melodies to the dirt, but it won't even matter. I'll never turn away and lie like I'm supposed to. Double dose the parts, the last trace of our communal heart. Making way for improvement, a press for millions, what is lost. Pink haze creeping over sunset, but I won't even be here. I'll never just pretend it's right like I'm supposed to. All right, guys, thank you so much. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, I have some songs that people might actually know if they've looked them up lately, which maybe they have not. Give me just a second here. And it's just such an honor to be here and to just be helping, because this is what we really need to do, you guys. It's, you know, I mean, we need to support each other. So let's see if I can come up with this one. Okay, here we go. Ooh, that's not it. Here we go. Here we go, one more time. Look in the mirror, that Anthony Waking up, waking up. Your eyes won't often dance with me, bleeding us, bleeding us. When the bees taste the honey, well, you'll get stung when the bees taste the honey of your tongue. Calling out through eternity, finding not, darling, you'd best soon learn to use what you're taught, when the bees taste the honey of your tongue. You'll get stung when the bees taste the honey of your tongue. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. These were amazing, beautiful songs. I cannot thank you enough. I knew the second I DM'd you, you'd be like, yeah, when and where. And that's amazing because it means a lot to me and everyone else who's, getting help tonight because of, all of you amazing performers who are joining us. Please tell everyone where they can find you. Can they find your music, download it, what's your Twitter, all that fun stuff?
Oh, for sure. I'm Helen Caddis. It's HelenCaddes, and you can look up my Bandcamp page. It has my album State of Nature, and it doesn't have any of these songs on it, but I'm working on a new record called Enclosures with a lot of these on there. And my Twitter is Helen Caddis. My Instagram is Helen Caddis. I mean, I guess I'm just stuck with this name here. So yeah, but I'm really so grateful to be able to be here, Joy. And, it's just wonderful to be a part of something that is just giving back to the community. I mean, so many people are just out for themselves these days. And the fact that you put this together, that so many musicians, so many really talented actually musicians have agreed to sign on and help. I mean, I think it really just goes to show how much people care about the community and about people who need help right now. And, you're the one who stepped up and put this together. And, I just couldn't be more grateful to be a part of it.
Thank you so much. And I do want to do something like this again, and you can guarantee I will be hitting you up.
Okay.
Love you, pieces. Thank you so much.
You too. Thank you so much, Joy. Thanks, guys.
How wonderful is she? Andy, can you hear me? You're muted, you stinker.
No, I'm not.
Oh, I can't hear you. Isn't she wonderful?
She was amazing.
I
just love her. I absolutely love her. That was just and people don't realize how hard it is to play intricate music and play the guitar and sing at the same time. It is
Yeah,
a very difficult thing to do, and kudos to anybody that's been able to master that. So you know what I'm saying. And
absolutely.
speaking of which, we do have our next performer ready to go,
Oh,
holding
we
a
do.
guitar. Yes, would you like me to bring that person on?
Sure.
I'm just gonna jam him in here.
Oh God, that's what she said.
Oh, that's what she said.
Hello,
All right.
Dominic.
Hi.
Thanks so much for joining. I met this wonderful human in DC at our last Medicare for All March.
That's right.
So thanks so
That's
much
right.
for joining. Ooh, that's a pretty background. I like that. Is that a
Yeah, thank
tapestry?
you. That is a tapestry from Goodwill that I
Really?
happened
Nice.
upon. I was like, yes.
Score.
Yeah, total score. So yeah, it was a joy. It was great to see you at the Medicare for All March, and then I was at the one the year before that too, that you did,
Oh, awesome.
which
That's
was amazing.
awesome.
Yeah, that was an amazing one, and we marched through the streets.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we
Feels
did.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
So I thank you so much for immediately saying yes when I asked you. I love that so much. What makes you say yes to this? Why are you passionate about mutual aid?
Well, I'm passionate about, the righteous causes in general, I guess, and I'm mainly a musician by trade at this point in my life, but I am doing some volunteer work with the Poor People's Campaign, and they're pretty
Nice.
cool, and then I'm been messing around with an environmental group in the in where I live, and we got the PFAs and the PFOs in our water and all that stuff, the bad chemicals, the glyphosate. And that stuff's bad news. It's all over the place in our drinking water. So,
Absolutely.
but yeah, and just mutual aid is obviously a beautiful little system that has kind of like organically developed, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's great, and I love how you are instigating a lot of that. But it's kind of like a little bit like disappointing that we have to do this. We should be getting taken care of by our government. There's yeah, what's going on? Why do we have a government if it's not taking care of us? I mean, that's the whole point. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Absolutely. And you may have heard me say a few minutes, well, maybe about 20 minutes back that, yesterday 30 million people lost their SNAP benefits. So
oh my God.
30 million yesterday. And these are all either low or no income families. These are all people who are below poverty guidelines. So now they have no food. And politicians are acting like, oh my God, this is wrong. You didn't say shit about it until the day it happened. So it's bananas. So we're going to be seeing more and more mutual aid requests just day by day. They're just going to grow, unfortunately, which is why things like this are very important. And I'm so appreciative to you and the other musicians who are joining. So I will let you take it away. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I will
All right.
let you
Thank you, Savage
jam.
Joy. All
Did you
right.
like that, Andy?
That was very good. That was very good.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Well, I've been writing some songs as of late, but mainly I'm a piano player. I like play piano mostly. But so anyway, I've been writing songs that I like to sing, and I've been recording some. So actually, this one's not going to be on the recording coming up, but the first one I'm going to play for you is about being sick about the crazy world that we live in. And well, let me just play it for you. I'm so sick of all the crazy shit in the world. I'm so sick of all the crazy shit in the world. I'm so sick, I think I might just have to hurl. Blah, blah, blah. I'm so sick of all the crazy shit in the world. I listen to the news, don't ask me why should be crazy. And I break down and cry. Tell me more, I must know the reason why should he crazy. Should I fly? I'm so sick of all the crazy shit in the world. I'm so sick of all the crazy shit in the world. I'm so sick, I think I might just have to hurl. Blah, blah, blah. I'm so sick of all the crazy shit in the world. Sure, Putin is a bastard, look and see, but wait a minute. Come to think of it, so are we. The U.S. overthrows many more countries, and it's not for freedom and democracy. No, we want accessibility to their markets, cheap labor and industry, all to prop up our economy and make profits for the mighty MIC. All that money going to so few. I'm getting sick. How about you? I'm so sick of all the crazy shit in the world. I'm so sick of all the crazy shit in the world. I'm so sick, I think I might just have to hurl. Blah, blah, blah. I'm so sick of all the crazy shit in the world. I'm so sick of all the crazy shit in the world. All right. That's kind of fun to sing. Because I sure am getting sick of some shit. Anyway, but here's an optimistic song. And this one's my revolution song. So, oh my, a little more relaxing here. I see it coming. I see it here. A revolution conquering fear. I see you. Oh, love, I see you. Raising the people, raising me to realize just what we can be. I see you. Oh, sweet love, I see you. I see you coming down the mountain. I see you. I'm bringing good news for today. I see you. Are you gonna set me free? What am I doing? Why am I here? I can't help feeling down and fear. Where are you? Oh, sweet love, where are you? But I won't give up, that I won't do. I will keep searching, searching for you. I need you. Oh, sweet love, I need you. I see you coming down the mountain. I see you. I'm bringing good news for today, and I see you. Are you gonna set me free? Won't you come with me? Won't you come with me on down? On down. I see you coming down the mountain. I see you. I'm bringing good news for today. I see you. Are you gonna set me free? I see you coming down the mountain. I see you. I'm bringing good news for today, and I see you. Are you gonna set me free? All right. Thank you. I hope you liked that. This one is called Your Eyes of Light. And this is one I wrote the music to, and the words are by a friend of mine named Stuart Acuff. And so I've been working with him with Poor People's Campaign. He works with us as well. And anyway, he writes all kinds of words. He has a lot of history. He's an older gentleman that has a lot of history working with the union, workers' rights. And so anyway, these are words by Stuart Acuff. Your eyes of light in this desperate night remind me of joy. The glow inside Corona would destroy. And now we see with such clarity that comes with mortality. The suffering surrounding us uneasy. Server at the diner with 2 kids, but no health care. The gas station cashier with 2 jobs, ain't enough time to share. Little children living in shelters, oh so sadly. And families torn asunder, oh so badly. But when my mind sees your eyes shine and your smile so wide, I know we will get to the other side. I know we will get to the other side. Server at the diner with 2 kids, but no health care. Gas station cashier with 2 jobs, no time to share. Children living in cages, oh so sadly. And families torn asunder, oh so badly. But when my mind sees your eyes shine and your smile so wide, I know we will get to the other side. I know we will get to the other side. Oh, I know we will get to the other side. Oh, yeah, yeah, I know we will get to the other side.
Thanks
All
so
right.
much, Jam, for jamming. You like that, Andy?
Absolutely.
That was
Well,
amazing.
thank you guys, and I hope everybody could hear it okay. How was the sound?
Yeah, you loud and clear. It was great sound. Thank you so much. And before we go, I'm going to ask you a few of the questions like I asked Tones. Who are your musical influences?
Oh, wow. Well, my musical influences, there's a lot of them, but you know, as I was mentioning, I'm mainly a piano player, jazz piano. So Herbie Hancock was probably my main influence on the jazz piano type of stuff. So that's kind of my main thing. But as far as singers, songwriters, you know, Bob Dylan's amazing. You know, Woody Guthrie. the Beatles,
The legends.
you know.
The
So
legends.
yeah, the big ones, but the Beatles, I like guys that sing about love, John Lennon.
Yeah. Well, my brother-in-law just he's a cinematographer. He just filmed Bob Dylan's documentary he's doing. So
Oh
everyone when
wow.
that comes out, go see it because my brother-in-law did it. But yeah, he said he's really cool and he's exactly the way you think he would be, which is just kind of
Right.
like
Yeah.
chill but still intimidating.
Yeah. Right.
Andy,
Really
do you have
interesting.
any questions?
Well, I was just going to say that I was just going to comment about Bob Dylan. That I had the opportunity to play with a drummer back in the early '90s. I went on tour across Eastern Canada with a fella named J.L. Avis. His father, Bill Avis, was the road manager for the band,
Oh my
and
gosh.
the band did a lot of their touring with Bob Dylan, and so
Right.
it was really an interesting person to talk to, especially when we would have a practice and I would get a chance to pick Bill's brain about his stories about being on the road with the band and with Bob Dylan and just the fascinating
Wow.
time in the 60s and 70s when they were in their heyday before the last waltz, the big last concert and stuff. So just in the right place at the right time, and it was really cool. JL's actually
Wow.
his godfather was Levon Helm, so he
Oh yeah. Huh? Yeah.
yeah, it was the basically the lead singer for the band. So just very interesting people early on in my musical career to get to know and to get a sense of people that had been in the spotlight and doing that kind of thing. So just really cool. I
Wow.
love your harmonies. I really appreciate your choice of chording in those songs. It's not the standard Woody Guthrie, if you're doing more than two chords, you're showing off type thing. It's
Uh-huh.
more of a
Yeah.
melodic choice of different sounds and stuff. I really appreciate that kind of music. So I really appreciate your set.
Well, hey, thank you very much. Well, I really appreciate being able to do this, having the opportunity to, share some music for a great cause. And so I thank you guys for doing this and for having me on here. And I hope it's a great success. I look forward to doing it again anytime. I'm willing to do stuff like this because I just would like to share my music. So, and I'm doing some recording. So eventually I'll have stuff I can, sell and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, and your lyrics are quite apropos. Trust me, I noticed. So they fit in quite well. Where can people find you?
Well, Jam Sonata is my Twitter handle, and I do have a website, jamsonata.com. Except that it's not up right now. I need to get it fixed. But my real name is Sam Janata, and I do have a YouTube video that I posted, and you can find some more of my music there. So on my Jam Sonata Twitter feed, you can find the YouTube video that I posted, and that's under my regular name, Sam Janata, and I have some more music on there. And just keep your eyes open. I'll put it out on Twitter when I have stuff.
Nice. Well, thank you so much. Again, you're amazing, and it means so much that you were willing to do this to help out some people in need. So thank you so much.
Well, my pleasure, Savage Joy. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye. So, yeah, I mean, did you listen to the lyrics?
I know. I loved it. As soon as he started, he worked the word shitty into the very first line of his first song. That's amazing.
I'm like, sold. Cursing. Yes.
Yeah, I'd buy that for $1.
Oh shit, I forgot. Lucky and Steve are gonna kill me. This is a music show, and I didn't even do my death metal voice yet. Mutual aid. Okay, please don't. That's all I'm doing. Please don't leave. Okay, just I had to do it.
It's not bad.
It was required of me.
Yes.
Stever is coming next. He'll be joining any moment. And then we still have a performance by Dave Rovex, who I said a little earlier, he couldn't be here, but he still wanted to help out. So he performed some songs this morning, and sent me over the video, because I was pretty, adamant that if anyone would send a video, that I still wanted it to be an original. Like, I didn't want it to be old videos or something like that. I wanted to make sure it was like all something special for today. So yeah, stay tuned for that as well. And it looks like Steva has just joined
With his fuzzy yellow condom.
his
Howdy.
fuzzy yellow condom.
That's Mike. Say hi, Mike. He's like, hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, hello, Mike. Hello. I suddenly sound like Julia Child.
Wow.
So-
you know, Julia Child also into death metal, I'm pretty sure.
Julia Child. Okay, now I have to stop though. We're trying to raise money for people, not for me. Because people will be like, actually, you know what? I'll keep doing that unless people start donating more to me.
That's right. Everybody better kick down.
Well
So,
said. Well
you
said.
know, we've done a bunch of shows together, but, musically, we haven't chatted. And so I'm sure pretty much everyone here is familiar with your songs because you do them, you play songs weekly, if not bi-weekly. So who are your influences?
I was just saying when you were asking Andy, I was like, pretty much the universe, every single thing that I encounter, like all the things, like affect what comes out of me. And I think, early stuff was definitely like, when I was 6, my mom gave me a bunch of 45s that she had collected.
Ooh.
So I had all these awesome 50s all the way through the 60s and early 70 kind of thing. And so that started me. Like I wanted to be a DJ immediately, you know what I mean? And play music for people all the time. And I didn't actually start playing in a band until I was like 23, 24 years old. I didn't really start playing guitar till then either. And but from then I've just been playing as many shows as I've seen, and I've seen thousands of music events, over the years. So it's like, it's crazy how much music I've like taken in. So I can't really narrow it down. We'll be here all day,
So I'm not the only like music addicted person, because I always tell people I've been to over 500 concerts,
Yeah.
and they look at me like, what? And I'm like, okay, look, I'm 43. I have a tattoo that says music is life. It literally is my life. I go to shows like all the time, especially in my 20s. I was going like once or twice a week for like a decade. Like, music is fucking it.
That's pretty much it. That was my life. I toured around with Grateful Dead for years. I've seen a lot of shows. Like that was what we did. We just went to shows, And then once I started playing in a band, all I did was play shows. So it was like, it's just like this continuum. Like it was preparing me up to that point till I started playing. You know what I mean? Seeing thousands of shows. I had a shoebox. I have the story, a shoebox of ticket stubs. Elastic Band Together, right? Herman Survivor boot box full of ticket stubs, and it got ruined sadly because it was at my mom's in a storage thing, and it got wet in Florida in the rain and got in, so it ruined them. and they all turned to like black mush and stuff. It was very, very sad and heartbreaking. But since then, I've probably seen just as many shows, so it's all good.
I still have like, I was going through some the other day. I still have my fucking Nirvana ticket and shit like that. Like old tickets. My first concert was technically New Kids on the Block, but whatever.
Wow.
But my real first concert that I talk about was 10,000 Maniacs at 12. And there's just, it was so fucking awesome. What was your first concert?
My first show was at the Warwick Musical Theater in Rhode Island. Don McLean, the guy who sings
Really?
Starry Night.
Yeah, beautiful circle in the round theater, you know. And that was my first exposure to like pop music on a stage, you know. And from then I was just hooked. I saw Kiss. I saw, you know, the inside of the Kiss Alive 2 album cover. It's all fire and elevators and stuff. Like I saw that show in Providence. You could feel the heat from the pyrotechnics. It was crazy. You know, I was 10 years old. It was like,
Wow.
I've been a freak for music my whole life.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
see, that's how you parent right there. Like that is how you
Oh, yeah.
parent.
Oh yeah. Luckily I had an older cousin who was, you know, trustworthy. Didn't let anything happen to me. It was all good. Saw my first
That's
Grateful Dead show
badass.
that same way. You know, 1983, I saw my first Dead show.
Wow. Andy, who was your first? You never forget your first.
The first major concert I went to on my own, well, not on my, with two of my friends. I was 15 and we went to see the Police in 1981.
Nice. Awesome.
Who?
The Police in 1981. And it was,
Oh,
I
the
think,
Police.
yeah, it was right after Zenyatta Mondatta came out.
Yeah,
It was
Oh.
the first of a series of 3 concerts that were held outside called the Police Picnic.
Wow.
And that was an all-day event. It was, we got there at about 10:30 in the morning and we left at 3 the next morning. We saw the Go-Go's, the Specials. We saw Oingo Boingo. There was
Rad.
just the Paolas. It was a all-day. We weren't allowed to bring booze in, so of course everybody's socks were filled with joints, and so we were stoned for about 15 hours straight, and then we had to try to find our way back to Toronto. But it was a 15-year-old's dream, and we ended up getting back into the city of Toronto, and they wouldn't let us in any hotel to sleep, so we ended up sleeping on park benches.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. That used to happen on Dead Tour a lot. You know, you're like, oh no, all of you guys are not coming in this hotel.
Right.
No.
But I have cash. I have cash in my
You have-
hand.
you have
It's
lots of
okay.
cash.
You
Like, they're
smell
like,
funny. You can't come
Go
in.
down the road.
Well, I may not have seen the Police officially, but I have seen Sting 8 times. And
8
all
times?
time, 8
Damn.
times. And
I've
each
seen him open
time
for the
he did
Dead.
play Police songs.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
one of the best times I saw it, probably the best time I saw him, Annie Lennox was on
That's
tour
cool.
with him. And ooh-wee, they
That
did
would
some
be
songs
something.
together. I just got goosebumps. Holy shit.
I saw
Sting.
Jerry play with Sting because he came out for a song and played something off the Dream of the Blue Turtles or something album, and he opened up for the Grateful Dead for a whole summer tour. It was fucking rad.
What?
I gave the shit out of that. And then I seen Trey, Stuart Copeland, and Les Claypool as Oysterhead. That was the shit.
Mm. One of the
Wow,
most
that's a picture.
memorable concerts that, as a musician, that I've ever got to see was, and I can't even remember how I got such good seats, but we were about 3 rows from the stage, and it was a big amphitheater stadium right down by Lake Ontario in Toronto, and it was to see Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Ooh, sweet.
And I, as a student, my entire life of the instrument that I play, I got the opportunity to watch a bunch of really good musicians up close and just kind of study the way that they did their thing, like as if you were sitting at a table in a bar.
Mhm.
And that
That's
was
beauty.
just was 3 hours of just of pure bliss for a musician, you know.
Yep. That was kind of my schooling too, with the band around here. That was our local thing, Max Creek, who are like a fantastic jam kind of band, and it was a music lesson. Standing in front of their guitar player, you know, it was a music lesson every night. I'm just like, wow, the guy is just unbelievable. One of the best guitar players. I mean, put him up against anybody, like just one of those guys who is just really gifted. He's forgotten now, probably more than I'll ever learn. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
that's how good he was at that time. It's just, oh my God, ridiculous.
Wow.
Because all he did was play for 10 hours a day and every day forever, and you get really good after a while.
Yeah, or your fingers fall off.
Or your fingers, you get arthritis and carpal tunnel, and whatever.
Well, we will let you take it away, Stever. And thanks for joining.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. Me, I'm a part of your circle of friends, and we notice you don't come around. And me, I think it all depends on you touching ground with us. But I quit, I give up. Nothing's good enough for anybody else, it seems. And I quit, I give up. Nothing's good enough for anybody else, it seems. And being alone is the best way to be. When I'm by myself, it's the best way to be. When I'm all alone, it's the best way to be. When I'm by myself, nobody else can say goodbye. La 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 la. Everything is temporary anyway. When the streets are wet, the colors slip into the sky. But I don't know why. That means you and I are. That means you and I quit. I give up. Nothing's good enough for anybody else, it seems. And being alone is the best way to be. When I'm by myself, it's the best way to be. When I'm all alone, it's the best way to be. When I'm by myself, nobody else can say goodbye. Me, I'm a part of your circle of friends, and we notice you don't come around. All right. Y'all see the man at the liquor store begging for your change. The hair on his face is dirty, dreadlocked, and full of mange. He asked the man for what he could spare with shame in his eye. Get a job, you fucking slob's all he replied. And God forbid you had to have to walk up and find his shoe, 'cause then you really might know what it's like to sing the blues. Then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. Then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. Then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. Then you really might know what it's like. Mary got pregnant from a kid named Tom, said that he was in love. So don't worry about a thing, baby doll, I'm a man you've been a dreaming of. But 3 months later, he won't date her or return her call. And she swear, goddamn, if I find that man cutting off his ball. She heads to the clinic and she catches some static walking through the door. Yeah, they call her a killer, and they call her a sinner, and they call her a whore. But God forbid you ever have to wake up and hear the news. Then you really might know what it's like to have to choose. Then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. Then you really might know what it's like. Then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. Then you really might know what it's like. Knew this kid named Max, he used to get fat stacks on the corner with drugs. He liked to hang out late, he liked to get shit-faced, to keep pace with thugs. Till late one night, there was a big old fight and Max lost his head. Pulled his Colt 45 in and talked some smack and he ended up dead. Now the wife and his kids are caught in the midst of all this pain. No, it comes that way, at least that's what they say when you play the game. But God forbid you ever have to wake up and hear the news. Then you really might know what it's like to have to lose. Then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. Then you really might know what it's like, what it's like, what it's like. It's a rich man beg, I seen a good man sin, I seen a tough man cry. Seen a loser win, I seen a sad man grin, I heard an honest man lie. Seen a good side of bad and a downside of up and everything in between. Licked the silver spoon, drank from the golden cup and smoked the finest green. Stoked the fattest dimes at least a couple of times before I broke their heart. Yeah, you know when it ends, it usually depends on where you start. God forbid you ever had to walk a mile in my shoes, 'cause then you really might know what it's like to have the blues. Then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. Then you really might know what it's like. Then you really might know what it's like. doop doop. All right, I have no idea how many songs I'm allowed to play here, so please bring out the golden hook if you'd like me to stop. If not, I'm gonna play another one.
You play another one.
I will. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. On the day when I was born, my daddy sat down and cried. Had the mark just as plain as day when it could not be denied. They say the king called Abel, he was rolling loaded dice. Ace of spade behind his ear and him not thinking twice. Said a half step, Mississippi uptown, toodaloo. Hello, baby, I'm gone, goodbye. Half a cup of rockin' rye. Farewell to you, oh southern skies. I'm on my way, on my way. They say that when your ship comes in, the first man takes the sail, second takes the after deck, but the third the planks and rail. What's the point of calling shots if this cue ain't straight in line? Cue balls made of styrofoam and no one got the time. Half step, Mississippi uptown, toodaloo. Hello, baby, I'm gone, goodbye. Have a cup of rockin' rye. Farewell to you, oh southern skies. I'm on my way, on my way. Yeah. All you got to live for is what you left behind. Get yourself a powder charge and seal that silver mine. Lost my boots in transit, baby, was a pile of smoking leather. I nailed a retread to my feet and I prayed for better weather. Oh, half step, Mississippi uptown, toodaloo. Hello, baby, I'm gone, goodbye. Half a cup of rockin' rye. Farewell to you, oh southern skies. I'm on my way, on my way, on my way, on my way, yeah, yeah. across that Rio Grande, across that lazy river. All right, I'd like to thank everybody for letting me play. I hope this goes to benefit people.
Thank you. Ooh, I'm sorry.
No, you're right. I was done.
I thought I was good at like sensing when songs are over. And I was like, oh, Andy, sorry. Thank you
Perfect.
so much. And I'm going to tell you something straight up. Man, did I used to hate that Everlast song. But now you made me realize why. It's good lyrics. It's just his voice sucked. But it was really good when you did it.
Well, thank you.
So I like it better than the original. So that's,
All right.
I mean, that's pretty rad.
That's cool. I'm glad. I dig the lyrics. I don't, the vibe of the song is cool. So
Yeah,
it's fun to
I
sing.
never really like took them in because his voice annoyed me for some reason. But now that I actually like listened to it, you singing it, it took on a new meaning. So yeah,
Right
I'm
on.
glad that
He should give you half the money.
sing it.
Yeah, damn it. Where's my money? Damn it. I want to donate to mutual aid.
Yeah, seriously. Everlast, if you're watching, I'm sure you are.
Right?
Please have
Mr. Everlast,
and
Whitey Ford.
come out
That's his name.
and do like a backup next time you go on tour or something.
Yeah.
It's only right. And forgive me for saying that your version sucks. I didn't mean it. I'm just saying
She was
Steve's is
just
very
being
good.
objective. It's okay. Music makes us reconsider things.
Passionate.
And people can have
I'm very
opinions.
passionate.
Yes, it's okay. You are entitled.
Well, thank you so much for joining.
I played a
Stuart.
Nickelback song. Lucky just reminded me. I played a Nickelback song a while back, and people actually said it was awesome. And I'm like, that is like the worst song that I could possibly play. And people were like, yeah. Like, you guys are all crazy or something. I don't know.
Everybody was high, and it sounded.
Everybody was
even
high,
better.
and they all wanted to have a drug dealer on speed dial. It's all good.
Well, thank you so very much, and thank you, Lucky, for your help with promoting and such as well. Thank you, really appreciate it. Thank you for being part of trying to help people in need.
Heck yeah.
You're welcome.
We certainly we know where it's coming from, coming from a good place, and we all can use help. We're poor as hell. We struggle all the time. So it's like, it's real. The struggle is real.
Oh,
The dog.
Oh, this is
Leo.
my Chihuahua that just dropped in from the helicopter.
He's a
So
rock
you know
star in
what,
his
you
own
guys
right.
bring up a good point, and there are like sayings. I'm not going to act like I know them off the top of my head, but the people who are most passionate about the poor are those who aren't really doing that great themselves.
Exactly. And I figured this, we don't have money to just like give somebody because we can barely make it by each month anyway. So it's like we're trying to do it on a shoestring, and we try to do what we do and try to give somebody a voice who might not be heard, another way. So like, it's all mutual aid. Any way you can do it. And
Absolutely.
I'm really glad I could be a part of it. So thank you for inviting
If we can provide information for people, that's
Yeah.
aid
Yeah.
too.
Absolutely, all forms.
Absolutely.
If your
Valid.
red state neighbor across the other side of the fence has a complete dialectical opinion to you
Mhm.
politically, just a couple of conversations and you'll find out that they're both drowning in medical debt,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
they have barely enough money to put food on their table. It doesn't fucking matter how their politics are.
No.
We are all human beings, And somehow we have to figure out how to survive this horrible thing that we call capitalism.
Yeah. Amen, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you again so much, Stever. Really appreciate it. And
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, Stever.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Please,
like
check us
anyone,
out.
like anyone doesn't know where to find you, but just in case there's like one person
If there's anybody out
Who's
there
been
in the
living
universe
under a rock?
that doesn't know, my my YouTube channel is
I just put it in the chat.
in the
too.
chat.
Oh, okay.
It's Steve Cutler Live, and same thing on Twitter and Bandcamp and all kinds of places you can, find me. On the what's that one where it has all the different links all together?
Linktree.
I have a link tree. It's Steve Cutler.
Ooh.
Thanks.
Ooh.
All right. Well, thank you, Joy.
Thank you. Much
See
love.
you next time. Much love, everybody. Peace out.
Take care, brother.
Oh, and also I forgot to say, Stever actually made the I can't say memes because I get yelled at, the graphics for tonight, the one behind you as well. And trust me, it is much appreciated.
Yes. We call it artwork. It's artwork because it's art.
It is. I mean, granted, I put the picture of Tones all by myself.
So you contributed to the art.
I contributed because I was like, I can only do cut and paste like at best. So I'm just like, put that
I can cut
photo
and
right
paste
there.
like this.
Yeah, boy.
You could do it.
So we still have a performance. This is from Dave Rovix. He is a musician, a net neutrality activist, a podcaster, and just a whole bunch of things. And he couldn't be here, and he still wanted to participate. So he played a set this morning and recorded it and sent it to me. So shout out, because I love that energy when you still want to help. So if you can't be there, well, I'll at least do a performance and record it. So yes. We need more of this, please. So
Absolutely.
also,
Absolutely.
thank you to anyone who is watching. Thank you to, especially to anyone who has donated, even if it's $1, $2, $3. I'm honestly not even sure if half of these people even knew we were, putting their links in here. But I hope maybe they get, oh my God, someone gave me $3 and like get a nice surprise today. It would certainly mean a lot. And also, I gotta give another shout out to Vegan Succubus. Like, I'm getting thank yous because I'm on camera, but like honestly, I literally could not do this without her. Like, I couldn't. She has been freaking stellar with helping me get all the links together, dropping them in here so my blind ass can do what I need to do. And I just could not be more appreciative. So love you to pieces. Thank you so much. You have made this possible. Like, seriously, you really have. So now we will go to Dave Rovix, and he played this set this morning for us and recorded it. So here we go. Stay tuned for his performance, and then we'll be back to wrap up.
It's about 20 minutes long, and then when it's done, we'll come back and we'll end up the show.
Woo-hoo.
And you get a 20-minute break, Joey.
David Rovix with a little set for musicians for mutual aid. And
Ah.
Check, check. There we go.
Andy, help
This
me.
is for mutual aid, and yeah, so I'm gonna start with a song I just
Oh,
wrote a few
me,
years ago
Andy.
for a young
Hang on.
person named Tortuguita who
There it
was killed in Atlanta, Georgia, in January 18th. And Tortuguita has been involved with mutual aid projects all over the South for many years, as well as resisting the expansion of the police state in Georgia. But Tortuguita was known and loved by many in different parts of the South, and was often going back and forth between Atlanta and Florida, where they were doing work with helping people from recover from the series of hurricanes that have devastated so many people's lives there, including my web designer whose roof caved in. Let's see. My web designer. Make it sound like my lawyer. I don't own any of these people. But anyway.
Are you able to turn it up a little, Andy?
After somebody shared a message with me.
It's very quiet. Hang on, I'll max up my volume and see if that helps.
Find it on my social media. It's a playlist everybody should listen to. Once was a skull and a forest prison farm.
Is that any better?
Said the woods should come down. They voted to preserve it. Their vote was overturned. In favor of Cap City, name their project earned. Local people opposed. Opposition grew. Folks came to defend the forest. Tortuguita did too. From food not bombs in Florida to a tent beside a tree. Just outside Atlanta, in an adopted country, I'm driving down the road through the Georgia mist, listening to Tortuguita's playlist. They began construction in 2021, protected by SWAT teams with armor and guns. Mayor said trespassers were terrorists. The resistors were afraid things might go like this. I'm driving down the road through the Georgia mist, listening to Tortuguita's playlist. Counselors said, call off the armed raids. With that going on, mistakes could be made. And one winter day, the forest was filled with a hail of bullets. Tortuguita was killed. And I'm driving down the road through the Georgia mist, listening to Tortuguita's playlist. Dozens of bullets shot into a tent. They don't want to say it. That's how it went. The Georgia police answering straight to the governor's mansion, head of the state. I'm driving down the road through the Georgia mist, listening to Tortuguita's playlist. I'm driving down the road through the Georgia mist, listening to Tortuguita's playlist. So, let's see. Here, do another song. alphabetical order. I have to remember the alphabet in order to find the songs. Turn my voice down a little. It seems to be peaking. So, Musicians for Mutual Aid. Speaking of mutual aid takes so many different forms. The term was first coined, as far as I know, by Peter Kropotkin, a very well-known Russian anarchist who wrote a book called Mutual Aid, and that was in the late 19th century sometime. And in recent years, especially since the pandemic, it's become a very widespread word, which is interesting. And of course, it takes many forms, big and small, systemic, challenging to systems, and not, depending. It's a complex world, complex society. Here's a song about some fairly large-scale mutual aid. Before the poet Pablo Neruda, well known around the world, before he was a well-known poet or known as a defender of the socialist elected government of Salvador Allende in the early 70s, in the 1930s, when he was young, Pablo Neruda was Chilean diplomat to France, and he organized a very large boat lift. That's what this song is about. That's also what Isabel Allende's latest book is about. Across the ocean wide, where many ships have been, where many long remember those passengers within, all of those whose families were buried or in jail in the killing fields of Spain, when the Winnipeg set sail. Across the ocean wide, across the open seas, a world better than the camps of the French authorities. Throw the people in, and if they live to tell the tale, they'd be the lucky few when the Winnipeg set sail. Across the ocean wide, the ship was met at bay by the throngs of people who just had to come that day. In 1939, to cheer and cry and say all hail solidarity, when the Winnipeg set sail. Across the ocean wide was where they had to flee, the thousands upon thousands of Spanish refugees, from the lands of Europe where humanity had failed, to the shores of Valparaiso, when the Winnipeg set sail. Across the ocean wide was where they would remain, as dictatorship would rule for half a century in Spain. Torpedoed in 42, now it lies upon the shale. One voyage will outlive her when the Winnipeg set sail. Across the ocean wide. Oh, let's see here. That's more mutual aid songs. I think as far as the mutual aid in the 20th century goes and the 21st century, I think there are a few organizations or movements or networks that do a better job of representing what the whole concept is about, as opposed to charity. Like mutual aid, and I think very few organizations that do a better job than the Catholic Worker Movement at embodying this whole concept and living it. And sort of outgrowth, and I guess, of that movement philosophically is a group called No More Deaths in Arizona, who are always facing felony charges for following Matthew 25, which is the guiding biblical, it has a name, not verse, but whatever it's called. I didn't grow up with this. But from the Bible, it's the guiding principle, Matthew 25:35, which I only learned about as an adult in the course of my association with left-wing Christians, which I never knew about until later in life, I guess. No, it's not true, really. I knew about them as a kid. I didn't consciously realize this was a thing, until I was an adult. That's true of a lot of things. If you go to Pima County in the Sonoran Desert Lands, you'll find the town of Ajo among the cactus stands. The only town you'll see, the only water too. When someone is thirsty, there's no question what you do. For well over a century, it was a normal thing to have an extra jug of water that you might bring. In the harsh Sonoran, Arizona summer heat, we'd rather give the vultures something else to eat. You didn't ask where I was going, nor where I'd been. I was hungry, you gave me food. I was thirsty, you gave me drink. I was naked, you gave me clothes. I was a stranger, you let me in. I have this book here, a story I learned well. I always thought I understood the tale that it tells. It's spelled out very clearly in Matthew 25. What a good Christian does when a stranger arrives. You didn't ask where I was going, nor where I'd been. I was hungry, you gave me food. I was thirsty, you gave me drink. I was naked, you gave me clothes. I was a stranger, you let me in. Now there's a crackdown with life and death on trial. The only place with water for 100 miles. Facing 20 years in prison is a very mighty rod. Now all of us are forced to choose between Caesar and God. You didn't ask where I was going or where I'd been. I was hungry, you gave me food. I was thirsty, sick around here. So many viruses going around. And the mold doesn't help. I'll do one more, and then we'll move on to other musicians in this Musicians for Mutual Aid online event. And I was just looking on the YouTube channel of Savage Joy Marie, who is wonderful, and I then discovered that she has had all the same kinds of problems with these bizarre pseudo pretending to be left-wing trolls who are out to destroy and undermine the left all over this country. And I'm not exaggerating, they really are. For more information on these people, go to davidrovics.com/trolls. And
Okay. Apparently, the power went off at this gentleman's house while he was recording. Oh,
Okay, here I am. I was like, thanks so much, Dave.
Right. And for my last song, I
Anybody got the lighters? I cannot thank you all enough. I mean, I hope it went well. It's essentially impossible for us to know, who got donations and who didn't. If you did donate, please put it in the comments just so we can give you a shout out. But thank you so much. And at the very least, this brought attention to mutual aid and how important it is. And those of us who tuned in tonight, we all know that we are, better off than a lot of people, even though we have struggles. It takes a lot of guts to be able to say, you know what, I need help. And I'm telling you, every mutual aid request I get says, I'm sorry to bother you, or this is really embarrassing. And it's like, no, people should not feel that way. Ask for help if you need it, period. And, I had a GoFundMe, I unexpectedly went blind. I mean, things happen. So it's important that we, explain to people that we encourage them to speak out, encourage them to, stand up and say, I need help, because nobody should have to suffer and nobody should have to just exist.
And nobody goes through life without needing help.
Yep.
Right? Even the best of us or the worst of us all need help at some point. Even Absolutely. Elon Musk needs help with his penis rocket occasionally.
I mean, what are you going to do? It's like, You know, if a dude needs a penis rocket, he needs a fucking penis rocket.
That's right.
Okay.
You got to get that's a big fucking condom, baby.
Hey, if only he stops procreating. Please. But yeah, I mean, shout out to Noli D, who hooked me up with Tones. Shout out to Tones.
Love you, Noli.
Noli. Shout out to Tones.
Noli.
Shout out to Helen. Shout out to Jam. Shout out to Stever. Shout out to Dave Rovigs. I mean, you guys helped make tonight happen. And it's so amazing that you shared your songs and performed to draw attention to people who need help. And you know what, Andy, that's not lost on me? All of the performers tonight all have lyrics that are meaningful. You know, they all have lyrics that are social justice oriented.
Absolutely.
And I think that's kind of like a wonderful, a beautiful, poetic, you know, I wouldn't say surprise, but it's definitely a beautiful thing that was not lost for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There are people that have that bent to their psyche is you know, either you understand how the world works and you understand the suffering that's going on and you want to help, or you don't.
Yeah.
Right?
And don't let something, you know, don't wait till something happens to you or someone you know. Have some empathy. I know it is hard as hell. Empathy is depressing. Empathy is freaking, you know, it gives you anxiety. Empathy makes me feel like, oh my God, I can't help people as much as I feel like I have to. I'm not doing nearly enough. And it's hard. It is really hard to acknowledge all the suffering going on. But at the same time, if we don't, we're not helping humanity in the least. Our duty as humans, at the very bare minimum, is to draw attention to what is going on. And you all helped us do that. And I cannot thank you enough.
Absolutely.
Vegan Succubus, as I said, I could not have done this without you. Thank you so much for putting all the time and energy into sharing all the links, both on Twitter and here. And thank you, Andy, for joining me and you know, having this wonderful conversation and just experiencing this special with me.
There's no place I'd rather be.
He says that every time we do a show together.
I know.
But thank you guys so much. I cannot thank you enough. We will put this on Twitter. It's on my YouTube. It's on my Rockfin. Please share. Please subscribe to my YouTube and Rockfin. Somehow I lost over 3,000 followers to my YouTube. And I started getting messages that like they were putting like content warning and all this crazy shit. So if you are subscribed, make sure you still are, because people are telling me they're not anymore. So yes, please subscribe to both. It's incredibly important. Share this, tweet about it, hashtag musicians for mutual aid, and encourage other indie media to start stepping up, and start not just talking about mutual aid in a vague sense, but like actually posting requests and
they're talking the talk.
Some of the people who are hurting.
They're talking the talk. They need to walk the walk.
Hands down. So again, thank you so much for watching. Monday, you can find me Postmortem Breakdown with Andrew. And that's 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Andy, where can people find you?
They can't because I'm hiding.
Well, yes, I know, but you have to at least put up a facade.
Well,
Animal.
what I've decided to do is I wasn't really happy with my own live streaming skills, let's just say. So I kind of put that in the back seat for a bit, and I've been concentrating on doing my editing with the podcasts and videos and stuff like that. So it's always tough being an older Canadian in a frozen land because you always feel like crap until the sun starts to shine again. So and I will also say to any of our activist friends or people that want to make a difference, it's okay to take a break.
Yes.
It's okay to have some self time to recharge your batteries, get a perspective, get a big frickin' pint of ice cream.
And a mimosa.
And I'm not talking about, like the diet ice cream. We're talking about the good ice cream, and just recharge.
Yes.
Because we need you in this fight, and your fight works better if you're fully charged. So it's okay to take a break.
Absolutely.
But Joy, I love you to death. I'll do this as long as you need me to do it, and we can get ready for the next one and see if we can make a difference. Okay.
Hell yeah, I think we did tonight. I really do. And thank you all so much again for watching. Please smash subscribe and share, and much love to everyone. Thanks again, Andy.
Love you, babe.
Love you too. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.